Owen Fairclough is in the city of New Orleans for us. Hi, Owen.
Phil, good evening to you. You're absolutely right. Try to imagine this city without the African-American community. It's impossible. Think of the music, think of the food here. And yet, as you pointed out, we have a majority African-American population in this city who were disproportionately hit hard by Hurricane Katrina. And 10 years on, many of those communities and many of those people are still struggling to get back on their feet, particularly in the business community. Well, let's get more on this from David Etienne. David, you're the Vice Chair for the city's regional Black Chamber of Commerce. Tell me first of all, David, Barack Obama, the US President, was here on Thursday. Does it matter to you that it was an African-American president that came to see these communities?
It was unique that it was an African-American, of course, our first one, but his remarks captured the redevelopment of the city in the spirit of the people. So it was his 11th visit to the city. So he's been a friend of New Orleans.
He talked about the rebuilding, the fact that these communities, the lower Ninth Ward, Treme, these areas that have now become synonymous with Hurricane Katrina, they need to do a little bit more. What more needs to be done?
Particularly in the small business community. We're over 50% African-American in New Orleans, Louisiana. However, the small businesses in New Orleans, Louisiana, minority-owned particularly, did not come back in that proportion. So African-American businesses would represent 64% of all jobs with small businesses have been impacted the most, and that needs attention.
We've got this incredible picture postcard background here. We're just in the French Quarter of New Orleans. I've walked around for the last few days. I see lots of boutiques, I see bicycle stores, coffee shops. They are predominantly white-owned businesses, and yet the numbers suggest that there are plenty of black entrepreneurs or black business people out there in New Orleans. Visibility.
Absolutely. In this particular area here, which last year in 2014, we had over 9 million visitors, which represented $6 billion in our largest single industry, but less than 1% actually affected and went to minority businesses.
You run a technology company.
Correct.
You probably see an awful lot of young people coming up, people from the community who want to get into business. What's different for an African-American, say, in 2015 in New Orleans, trying to break into the business world, different for them than perhaps other communities?
It would be opportunity and access to capital. Those are the two impediments to that. And the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce are focusing on those two things to provide more opportunities, such as connecting with that $6 billion tourism industry and connecting with financial institutions to lower the barrier of entry, if you will, for those small businesses.
Why do you think that that people in the African-American community can't get access to capital? What's the problem?
Traditionally, it has been that lack of financial support because they come from a lower financial establishment behavior, if you will. It takes them longer to get that, to clean up their financials, to get their books in order, and to be, as you quote-unquote, bankable.
One of the city leaders today was in a discussion and said that in 2025 he would like to see the economy look like its population. Is that realistic in perhaps 10 years that you could see more black faces in more black leadership positions?
Absolutely. We should not have the same discussions 10 years from now that we're doing today. So when we talk about inclusion versus exclusion from a business community, we will achieve that and won't be talking about this same topic.
Yeah, let's hope so. David, many thanks indeed. David Etienne from the city's regional Black Chamber of Commerce.